talking about, you were pretty new to finding the sport, Andrew Calandrelli. When you walked in this gym, you had no idea what MMA was. You kind of knew what boxing was, at least, though, right?
I knew of it.
You knew of it?
I didn't watch anything.
So coming into this class, what did you like the second that you walked into Andrew's gym? Like, what kind of stood out to you? Like, I'm gonna come back and do this.
Honestly, like I said, a few years prior to, I had just two of my friends had brought me to an MMA gym, which I didn't even know was actually called MMA. It was just, trying out the jiu-jitsu and the Muay Thai. And like I said, they said, oh, this would be awkward for some people. And just because the fact that I was a girl, even years later, still making me uncomfortable. But when I walked in here, nobody looked at me any differently.
Were there any girls training here at the time?
Only like one or two, not seriously, just recreationally.
Well, what about now? Are you seeing more girls enter the gym?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, and because I've been here for years, I would even tell women when they came to try out class, I'm here every time. You'll never be the only girl on the mat. You always have other females to train with. So they ended up feeling more comfortable. I've had some of the same training partners for the past 5 years, you know what I mean, who ended up sticking around, which I'm thankful for. So
do you
the more women who are in here, the more stick around and show up.
You roll around with Andrew?
No. If I'm lucky, no.
So Andrew, being part of Bellator, is that something they're aiming for, or is UFC the way you want to go? Because
I mean, Bellator is good as well, definitely.
I think they're doing a great job in the past, year at least, building some new stars. Like Mike Kimball is one from around here. Jesse Kowzikowski, I think I'm pronouncing his name. I think he's going to be trying to aim for Bellator. But you got your eyes on UFC? What was that?
Not really interested in Bellator.
No? Well, what reasons being?
We want to be in the UFC, or I would prefer to fight like overseas or something like that.
So if she gets a couple fights, because Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, they get people with 4 or 5 fights. Is that something that you guys would maybe interested in?
Yeah, she would do that. But, if Bellator started a 105-pound division and they wanted to pay her a lot of money, then I would do it. But not really interested just for like. I don't like how they do their undercards. I mean, it's totally different when I fought for them during the Jordan
Rebney days.
Yeah, totally different than Bellator now, and they don't treat people the same. Like I had a real contract with Bellator. Nowadays, they just give people 1-fight contracts. They don't.
Is that what's kind of going on with Blair? Just 1-fight contracts and.
He had a contract, and then because he lost, I think now he still has a contract. Blair did get a contract at the on TV, but he is older too.
Yeah.
But the way they do the undercards and stuff now is just not professional anymore. They don't give them music anymore. They don't let them walk out. So like fans, they don't even say their names. They don't even announce their names, so the crowd doesn't even know sometimes.
That's crazy. That's crazy because Bellator in the last couple of years they're trying, but like Andrew's saying, there's a couple of things that they need to fix, especially like airing fights live and things like that. I see a lot of fans get frustrated about, but the UFC, they're building a pretty good division, but a lot of the people are saying that we want to see the new talent, the new girls coming up, and you're doing that, and you just turned pro. But what's been going on? Because it seemed like you had a pro fight, and then you went back to amateur. What was going on? You had surgery, or?
So last May, there was a pro fight scheduled, but in April I had torn my hip labrum. I didn't know that it was torn at the time. I hadn't gotten an MRI or anything, but I continued training, and I ended up pulling my back really bad the week before that pro fight was scheduled. So, and like I had mentioned previously, that was an injury that bothered me for months.
Yeah.
I still wasn't normal. And after 2 months, somebody had recommended, that I probably had torn my hip labrum, and so I should get it checked out. So I did, by the summertime, get it checked out, and I did need to have surgery. So I had to take a few months off of doing pretty much nothing and recovering from that. And then it was actually a blessing that I didn't go pro, so it allowed me to get back in the amateur swing of things, and then now going pro. So.
After only 2 weeks, she was only here for 2 weeks, and I canceled her membership after the first month and just had her work here.
Really?
And then 3 months into it, I didn't want her working at her regular job anymore because I wanted her here day and night, and I made her quit her regular job, and I hired her here so she could pay her here.
Blair was telling me you hired her to like answer the phone or just do like simple things, right?
Well, I had already I worked at Planet Fitness for months.
I want you training twice a day.
Years ago, and I would be in here hanging out anyways when I got off work. Before I couldn't do the advanced classes, so I would just watch class.
Yeah.
The phone would be ringing, and I was like, just tell me what you want me to say. Like, I know how to talk to people. Like, I know how to answer the phone. I was working at a gym, a few months ago. Just, and then he started to realize, like, okay, she might be capable of doing a few things.
So how grateful are you to Andrew? Because he's really invested a lot of time and energy into you. But something I want to know is he going to be fighting again soon, or what's up with him?
I hope not at 155.
No, you're not. You don't think so?
Just grappling tournaments. I have to focus on. I can't. You can't be a fighter and focus on. There's too many big things going on. Between her being pro and your amateur boxing career, it's impossible.
So Yuri really quick. Is Yuri here?
Yeah.
I heard Harrison talking about Yuri. He's been on the same fight card. What's up with Yuri? What's his game plan coming up? Because he just had his recent fight on the same card. He's just doing boxing.
No, he's training in all three and wants to do all three, but his ticket, he could be a champion in either, but I think he can make big money in pro boxing. So we want to stick with. I want him to stick more with pro boxing. Heavyweight champ of the world in boxing makes $50 million. The heavyweight champ of the world in the UFC makes.
Why? What do you think they need to do for them to become get more money and stuff like that? I mean, they're signing the ESPN deal.
Private organization, so they're keeping the money for themselves. So, and that's going to change eventually too.
You guys think about unions?
I don't know too much about it, but I know that stuff is changing. So they pay the women well, so I wouldn't complain about the money that some of the women are making.
Yeah.
So the highest paid female athlete in the world is actually fights for one now.
Really?
Angela Lee, yeah, she's the highest paid female MMA fighter in the world.
And she's a low weight class too.
Yeah, she's one up above her. She's listed as an atom weight, but it's an atom weight in over there is a little different.
Yeah.
But no, so like pro boxing for her pays weight. She's gonna go pro in boxing too. That's what I'm talking to CES about. Maybe in what date did I say? October 20th. Maybe October 20th. Pro boxing. I'm in talks with CES now. But the big money for women is MMA. The big money for men for heavyweight would be in boxing.
Well, you guys are talking about like trying to aim for the UFC. You see people like the Karate Hottie, who's naturally an atom weight, but she's struggling a little bit because that weight class is not there. Do you think that weight class will open up for the UFC eventually?
They said with
they
the
did.
ESPN deal are going to come the atom weights and the 165-pound males. Yeah,
So
that's why we're going pro right away.
Okay.
We want to already be pro when the time comes.
So
2019, you'll see atom weights in the UFC.
you heard it right here, guys. Atom weights in the UFC 2019, and the upcoming fight for Marissa is Premier FC 26 going down June 16th. Who else here is on that card? Anyone? Because I didn't really look at the card.
Harrison Adamo, Lisa Blaine,
Yeah, I saw Lisa was on the card.
and Aunt Benavides.
And where can people get tickets for that? Can they just call you guys to reach you out on
Yep.
Facebook?
I have tickets right here at the gym.
You can get them right here at the gym.
So people can reach out to me on Facebook, whatever, message me, and then meet up.
So I got kicked off of Facebook by the UFC, so I'm not on there. So where can people find you on there? I wasn't able to get that.
My name, just under my normal name, Marissa Messer-Belenchia, or there's even a different page, Marissa, and then to Spider Monkey Belenchia, a like page.
So real quick, Andrew, while I have you here, I don't know if you really want to talk about it, but we just saw Nick Newell, who used to train right here, get a shot at Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. How do you think he'll do? Because he's pretty experienced.
Yeah, he started with me, right? The first time he trained with me, he was in high school.
Wow.
So Nick trained with me for 10 straight years. I don't know who his opponent is. I don't know how.
I don't know either yet.
Yeah, I don't think they named it yet. So it depends on the person.
How do you think he'll do in the UFC? I mean, he only lost to Justin, and Justin's done very well in the UFC and put on some amazing fights, even though he's on a 2-fight losing streak. That's the only person he's lost to.
It all depends on who you fight. It all depends, Justin got thrown right into the top 10. So, there is a lot of people that aren't that good in the UFC, on these Ultimate Fighter shows.
Yeah.
I never heard of some of these people that fight. So it all depends on what type of push he gets. Like Justin, because he was the champ, Justin got thrown to the wolves right away. So it all depends on who you get thrown. Eddie Alvarez, His first fight was Donald Cerrone.
Marlon having to fight like a Sun Sal. Like that's a tough.
Yeah,
That's,
so it all depends on what type of fighter you get thrown at you right away. So I don't know if Dana White would want to build him up or would he want to shut him down. You know, are you going to throw a killer right away or are you going to want to build the fighter up? You see, it's different for different people. You see, like Kenny Florin, he was a close friend of mine. We were training partners. They built Kenny up. They gave him fights that they wanted him to win, that he should have won, and he did.
Yeah.
To build him up. Some people, they don't do that. They just throw right into the top 10.
So when you're focusing on some of your fighters, you're the guy who's picking all the fights. That's a lot of work.
Some people who come from other gyms, they go and do their own thing and stuff like that. But my specific people, I pick the fights.
You pick the fights for them. So with Nick going into the UFC, you also see like Matt Bissett, and I was just talking about Jesse. How cool is it to kind of see MMA blossoming in Connecticut?
No, it's good. It's really good.
It's exciting to see.
Speaking of Matt, like I'm saying, the guy he fought, like I never heard of that guy before, so that was like an Ultimate Fighter seasoned fighter that he fought.
Yeah.
So those are the type of fights when you first get in the UFC that you should get. But someone like Justin didn't get those fights, so that's why I'm saying it all depends on who you get.
So what do you know about Marissa's upcoming opponent before I let you guys go? I want to know a little bit about what people can expect when they show up to premiere.
She was the only one that would accept the fight. We had actually a couple girls that said no. She's from Las Vegas. She trains at the places that she's been. She trains at Roy Jones Boxing Gym. She's been there. She trains at Robert Drysdale. She's been there.
I know that she's been training for like since 2012 or so, for a while.
Yeah, her first fight was way before her.
Yeah.
She's a little older. She just looks like a tough girl. I know she looks like she does some type of fitness training, CrossFit type stuff. So I don't know. I've watched her videos. I'm not really worried about her.
Yeah.
But she's definitely tough. I tell her she's scrappy and wild, and she's not a relaxed fighter, so it's a little different game plan. Every fight, I make her game plans of what I want her to do.
Are you also like being her regiment for dieting and stuff like that? Because she said she has easy.
Diet, yeah. Her diet.
I go to school for nutrition.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, I do that myself.
She doesn't cut any weight or anything like that. She comes in on weight from diet. There's no sauna or nothing like that.
Wow. So, guys, I'm so excited to first off be here. I want to thank you guys so much for allowing me to come down to your gym finally and seeing some of the upcomers talk with you finally. Is there anything that you would like to say to the audience, what they can expect from you in the next year? How many times do you think you'll most likely fight in this year, for the end of this year, second half this year?
A few more times. So definitely be seeing me.
Definitely this
stay
premiere,
active.
Fall, Bellator CES and Premiere have talked to me about the fall, and definitely Reality for January.
Yeah, Reality seems like they've really been picking up a lot of fun talent, picking up a lot of shows, and something I want to end on a good note here. I love going to reality fighting, the local shows. When I was a kid, we'd go to baseball, basketball. Nowadays, you're actually seeing families go to mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Do you have families come here into the gym?
Yeah.
Like full families?
All the families come to the fights. We have like wife, husband, and children that all train here. So.
Do you get people like off the street like, you guys are tough, or anything like that? We're in a tough neighborhood.
You don't see that no more. When I first opened up, you've seen people come in, like stuff like that, but no, it's no different than a regular.
Yeah.
It's a cross between martial arts and fitness, so people just come in. 90% of the people that come in are just for fitness and working out.
It's Connecticut, it's a nice place, but it's got its character. Is it when you're at a place like this, you got a liquor store next door, and you just never know.
Yeah, we gotten lucky. No one has come in.
I don't think anyone would want to.
Yeah, it's an MMA gym. There's a cage. People have walked by before and looked in, but
yeah.
No one, we've got lucky. But I've had some incidents when I was down the street with people coming in with managers asking to fight Chuck Liddell and all kinds of stuff. So we've had our characters. But
What do you think about Chuck at coming back? He's almost 48 years old.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think?
I think too old.
Yeah.
But Tito probably, because Tito's a little younger, probably wants to get that win.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like Tito. I've actually known Tito for many, many, many years. And he's a lot different in person and as a person than he is a character for the UFC. And he's actually a really nice guy. So, I would be rooting for Tito if they fought, just because he's the coolest guy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's such a landmark. I'll never forget, like, after 9/11 happened, him walking out with the American flag. Like, you just...
When he was UFC champion, we were in a club at Mohegan Sun because there was a what was it called? WEC. Before it was bought by the UFC there. And
Showtime days.
Tito hung out with us the whole time. We were in a club, and literally, like, me, Tito, all sitting at the same table. He was the UFC champion. He didn't have to talk to people. That's how I met him. That's how I started becoming friends with him. And I'm actually friends with his wife on Facebook, Amber, his girlfriend. So, like, that's
His new girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we started talking. And he wrote things. He wrote all kinds of autographed pictures to send to my wife. She's a school teacher, for her classroom. Be good to her name was Miss Bailey at the time, Miss Bailey, and blah blah blah. So he didn't have to do that. Like, he's a really nice guy.
That's cool, because you see these people on TV, you don't know, like, who they really are, and it's kind of cool. And like Marissa was saying, I think it's really cool that you don't know who all these superstars are, because when she goes into rooms or goes to a fight and she's like, who's Barb Honcha? Like that's probably a better thing that you're not, like, you know. So I want to thank you guys so much for letting me come down here. Last but not least, where can people find you on social media? I know that you're on Twitter, but is it the same tag for Instagram?
Instagram, it's under Real Spider Monkey.
Okay, so the Twitter is at Spider Monkey MMB, double MB. That's what I'm gonna be calling you. And one more time, what's your Instagram?
Real Spider Monkey.
And Andrew, where can people find the gym on Instagram or Facebook?
The gym is Ultimate MMA CT, or under my name. So at Instagram, it says Ultimate MMA CT, but it's also under my name, Andrew Calandrelli.
Guys, I want to thank you so much. I'll be back down here soon, hopefully, to interview some more people. And I wish you best of luck. And thank you guys so much for having me down here. Premiere?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get to as many things as I can over the summer. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna be going down to Florida for Robert Turnquist was trying to get me to go down there to do something. So I think I'm gonna be down there during that time. Hopefully, I mean, that would be fun. But if not, I'll be at Premiere or CES events. I've been going to a lot, so I'll see you guys soon. I always see you guys at Bellator walking around and weighing in.
This Bellator, Chris Foster might be fighting. Blair might be fighting again. So the only reason why I'm not interested in Bellator, because I wouldn't want them to. I don't want to be on the undercard, and I don't want them giving her a contract.
Yeah.
If they wanted to put her on TV and give me a 1-fight deal, then I would do that. But I'm not interested in a 3-fight deal, because then they try to lock you in some contract.
I saw Jesse was also a little because when they were offering, he was kind of like, I don't know, because his father,
And you've seen what happened to Eddie Alvarez and all that. I don't want her getting locked in. And then UFC decides to start a 105-pound division, and because Invicta's contacting me already. I've been talking to the president of Invicta,
Stephanie or Sarah, Shannon now.
So
Yeah.
we've exchanged emails and stuff. So I'm sure they're waiting to see what happens.
That would be perfect. Invicta FC.
Yeah. So the only bad thing about Invicta is that
They only fight in one place.
she can make money locally because she's a big
sell
draw,
tickets.
big ticket seller. So Invicta is I'm really interested in, but I want to do like a deal where she could also fight locally.
Yeah.
So if they'll do a deal where she can box still and fight locally, then I would love to.
I'm a little surprised that they haven't expanded. They only do fights there. It's like there's a lot of girls coming out, especially it's almost 2020. So
And these girls can sell tickets. They have girls in New England that fight for Invicta. They had a show at Mohegan Sun. They're going to sell the place out. They don't got to stay where they are. But I've heard they do deals like that where you can fight locally too, because she wants to make money. Invicta they're not paying huge, but she can make more money fighting for reality fighting than Invicta.
yeah, you know better than anybody that you need money. You can't. You got to operate on money. You know what I mean?
Money,
Yeah. Especially when you turn pro. You know what I mean? Every fight's important. Guys, thank you so much. Guys, follow me on Instagram at Pure Evil MMA and on Twitter, Evil_Echo. White Knuckles to the end. Behave yourselves.